He sees a large wolf-like creature standing on two legs staring at him. I don't know how far away he was, but he said for sure it was a wolf or a dog creature, but it was 7 feet tall when it stood on its hind legs.
And what this means for you guys is you are going to soon be able to book a night or a weekend and stay at the Warrens' house and investigate the house and the history of the house, as well as the museum and all the artifacts inside of it.
In like the 1700s, and there was a ghost called the Phantom, and she'd be at the top of the stairs about 2, 3 a.m. And I don't mind the ghost, man, because I make friends with them.
Riley whispered that we should leave. Before we could, a board creaked behind us. The man in the doorway looked half feral, sun-leathered skin, yellow eyes, beard matted with something dark.
Oh, hell no to that. Hey everyone, welcome back to another creepy history. Today, I do have a compilation of scary stories that are either from history or they're gonna make history. So I hope you enjoy today's episode. Let's go ahead and get started. So of course we always start with TikTok, and this first one right here, well, a couple of these are actually I seen on Natasha's page that she reposted, and I thought they were extremely interesting, especially for creepy cryptid history. So yeah, this first one, not necessarily a cryptid, but very, very creepy nonetheless. So let's go ahead and give it a watch.
This was the most evil lady that ever lived. Her name was Jenny Talia. She was born in 1917, Nebraska. To her town, she was just a lonely widow with a farm and a soft voice. But between 1942 and 1963, at least 17 people vanished within a few miles of her farm. Hitchhikers, salesmen, even a deputy sheriff. No one suspected it was her kidnapping these people. The police thought it was just wild animals or bad luck near the river. It wasn't until 1965, when her barn caught fire, that the truth started leaking out. Firefighters broke through a sealed wall and found chairs, 5 of them, bolted to the floor with restraints, a rusty sink with blood in the drain, and glass jars that held human fingers and other body parts. When they arrested her, Jenny didn't flinch. She smiled and said, "I gave them a home, and they gave me company." She lost her life 5 years later in a jail cell. But the scariest part is that they only found 7 victims, while Jenny had taken 17 lives. She kept a notebook with all their names crossed out. No one knows where the others are. This was the most evil lady that ever lived. Her name was Jenny Talia.
Now to me, that's some creepy history right there. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Now, speaking of things that are probably going to 100% make history, this one right here, I was tagged in by Natasha, and it's by All Things Horror, all right? And supposedly, Matt Rife, the comedian, has bought the Ed and Lorraine Warren Supernatural Museum, okay? Really dangerous stuff that we're dealing with here, but I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all watch.
I have just bought the Ed and Lorraine Warren's Home and Occult Museum with my very good friend Elton Castay.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Pretty sure most of you have heard the news by now about Matt Rife and his friend purchasing the Warrens Occult Museum. Loads of people are upset about this right now, but with every right. There's more.
And what this means for you guys is you are going to soon be able to book a night or a weekend and stay at the Warrens' house and investigate the house and the history of the house, as well as the museum and all the artifacts inside of it.
Do you have any idea what you are doing right now? I love paranormal. I love spooky stuff. I love horror movies. I breathe it. I will not go near any of that stuff, especially Annabelle. I do not have a good feeling about this, you guys. I'm really concerned for Matt. Call me crazy all you want. That's fine. But with the passing of Dan Rivera recently, and out of nowhere, and everything else has been going on since Annabelle has been going on tour, I am at a loss for words with this. You are opening this museum to the public. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about this because I'm at a loss for words. Also, for further updates on this and for horror content, hit that follow button.
I'm telling you right now,
I have just bought.
That's crazy to me. Like, I feel like opening the house and the museum up to the public is literally opening up some kind of portal to some kind of evil. But I mean, I don't know. What do you guys feel about this? I feel like this could be, maybe not. I think in my bones, it's a bad decision to open it up to the public. Like, anybody who wants to buy it and take care of it and stuff, that's on them, you know. But being open to the public like that just brings the chaos and brings the evil out to everyone. It's available for everyone to go witness, see, experience. I, for one, probably will never, ever do that. If I did, then I'd be taking rosaries, crosses, holy water, all this kind of stuff with me. But I just don't see myself even being attracted to these types of things. Like, it's fun to watch. I like she said, I like spooky, scary things. But I feel like, you know, something like that would just be taking it a little bit too far. But let's just hope that Matt, his friend, and all the people that are going to go witness all this stuff for themselves are safe, okay? In the name of Jesus, amen. Ooh, now, this is another one that Natasha actually tagged me in, and it's by My Scottish Journal here on TikTok, okay? And this really delves into some history, so I feel like if you like history and ghost stories, I feel like you're going to like it. So, let's watch.
The lock on this tomb isn't to keep people out, it's to keep something very dangerous in. This is the Black Mausoleum, the final resting place in Edinburgh's Greyfriars Kirkyard of Sir George MacKenzie, a 17th century judge nicknamed Bloody MacKenzie. But he didn't rest in peace. Since the 1990s, people who venture in or near the tomb have reported sudden scratches, bites, bruises, faintings, and even possessions. It's now one of the most documented poltergeist cases in the world, and Edinburgh Council locked the tomb after many violent attacks were reported. Some say Mackenzie's malicious spirit was disturbed when a homeless man broke into the tomb, and ever since, something malevolent has been awoken in it. So if you visit Greyfriars after dark, make sure you stay well away from that tomb at the south end. You might just come face to face with Bloody MacKenzie. The lock on this tomb isn't...
Well, Bloody MacKenzie can have it because I will not be going there, especially after dark. But still, I think it's a really creepy tale to hear when it's all cozy and warm and nice inside. You can experience the creepiness and spookiness inside on a screen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, guys. So this one I was super excited for because this is another one that I feel like is going to make creepy, spooky history, all right? If you don't know who this young fella is, he's Youngblood, okay? He is someone I recently just found, amazing musician. I love his music, what I've heard of it so far. Just amazing. So Ozzy has passed the torch down to Youngblood, okay? He is basically another Ozzy of his own, you know what I'm saying? So, let's go ahead and give this a watch. This one definitely, I don't know. This one kind of freaked me out as well.
Can I tell you the craziest, spookiest story? In Idols Part 1, there's a ghost on the track. No cap, right? We recorded the album in a house that was an old foreman house in the Tetley Brewery, a beer brewery. The guy who would run the factory's house, and his wife died there in like the 1700s, and there was a ghost called the Phantom, and she'd be at the top of the stairs about 3 a.m. And I don't mind the ghost, man, because I make friends with him. There's this part in the second verse, and it goes, ooh. So if you go and listen to that. That is an unexplainable sound that was recorded on a guitar track.
No.
That we didn't know that was, honestly, we didn't know it was real. I thought it was a vocal. I thought like I was like taking a piss. And my producer's like, nah man, that's unexplainable. What is that? And it wasn't an intentional delay thing that Adam did on the guitar or me on a vocal. It was literally on a guitar track about a minute in when Adam wasn't playing anything and it just went,
that's crazy.
And we left it in there because she died there, and I think she kind of she blessed us with a lot of songs. So
cheers to the Phantom.
Cheers to the Phantom. Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
I liked her. She'd be at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
She was a good lass. I'm telling you. And I tell you the craziest.
His personality is so, I don't know, just heartwarming and becoming. Like, I don't know. Like, thanks, babe. Like. Cheers to the Phantom, right? Like, it added some spooky quality to the music for sure, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Okay, Wolfpack, so we have actually we will be meandering our way on over to YouTube now. This was actually sent to me by Brittany Prather. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm so sorry if not, but it was sent to me in an email, and it says Native American spills the beans of unknown predator attacks in Oklahoma. So let's go on over to YouTube now. Okay guys, so it's actually by It's Roland here on YouTube, and it's a collection of stories, I do believe. So we're going to listen to Grant's story, Grant Ellison. So let's go ahead and give it a listen.
My name is Grant Ellison, and this happened to me in 2008 in the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest, Nevada. I had driven west from Reno with my buddy Riley Holt to shoot photos of abandoned silver camps for a magazine piece. The editor wanted grit and ghosts, and I wanted the paycheck. We loaded Riley's old Cherokee with cameras, water, and a cooler of sandwiches, then followed Highway 50 until a faded Forest Service sign pointed to a shortcut. I should have known a shortcut in that country is never short. Dust swallowed the road behind us. Sage and juniper blurred by. The map said the track would drop us near the ghost town of Grantsville by dusk. Instead, it narrowed to 2 ruts and vanished under pine needles. We argued, then pressed on because turning around meant backing up a mile of blind switchbacks. When the Cherokee bottomed out on a hidden stump, the drive shaft groaned and quit. We slapped the hood, cursed the sun sliding behind the peaks, and grabbed our packs. The plan was simple. Hike downhill, hit the creek marked on the topo, follow it to a ranger station.
Okay.
The forest felt wrong from the first step. No bird song, no wind, only our boots crunching. An hour in, Riley pointed to a rusted snare wired between 2 trees. Thick cable, crude knots, fresh drag marks in the dirt. Not the work of hunters. We kept walking, slower now. Twilight painted the granite pink, then purple. I smelled wood smoke before I saw the cabin. It squatted in a clearing, logs blackened by age, windows stuffed with hides. A single chimney coughed thin smoke. We needed directions, maybe a ride. Riley knocked. No answer. He tried the latch. The door swung inward. Inside, the air stank of iron and rot. A butcher table stood in the center, stained dark. Hooks dangled from roof beams. On a shelf lay driver's licenses, cracked and sun-bleached. I picked one up. A woman from Carson City, missing since 2003. My stomach flipped. Riley whispered that we should leave. Before we could, a board creaked behind us. The man in the doorway looked half feral, sun-leathered skin, yellow eyes, beard matted with something dark. He carried a crude spear tipped with sharpened rebar. Another figure slid from the shadows. A woman, taller, her face twisted by burns, hair hacked short. She held a bow strung with sinew. No words, only a low grunt. Riley raised his hands. I backed toward the window. The woman loosed an arrow. It buried in my thigh. Pain lit my world white. I crashed through the glass and hit the dirt outside. I heard Riley yell, heard a struggle, then silence. I crawled into the trees, blood soaking my jeans. The forest swallowed me. I tore the arrow free, wrapped my belt around the wound, and limped downhill. Branches snapped behind me. I forced myself to move faster, heart hammering. Moonlight silvered the trunks. I reached the creek, icy water rushing over stones. I followed it, hoping distance would save me. Hours passed. The wound throbbed and I grew lightheaded. I found a fallen log, crawled beneath, and listened. The night stayed quiet. I dozed, woke at dawn to crows circling. I pushed on. Mid-morning, I spotted smoke again, thin, gray, rising from a ravine. I should have turned away. Instead, I thought maybe Riley escaped and built a signal fire. I hobbled closer. The ravine held a pit dug into the slope, covered by branches. Below, Riley lay on his side, wrists bound, face bruised but alive. He saw me and shook his head, mouthing no. I scanned the clearing. A third figure crouched by the fire, younger, maybe 16, skin chalk white, ribs showing under tatters of denim. He gnawed a strip of meat. My stomach dropped when I saw the tattoo on that meat. USMC, fresh ink, still blue. Someone else's forearm. I eased downhill, found a rock the size of a softball, and flung it across the creek. The boy jerked toward the sound, rose and padded into the brush to investigate. I slid to the pit, cut Riley's bonds with my pocket knife. He was weak, dehydrated, but he could stand. We climbed out and staggered uphill. Behind us, a howl echoed, human but warped with rage. Branches snapped. We ran. Blood soaked my bandage. Riley supported me. We reached a granite outcrop and ducked into a narrow crack. The feral boy sprinted past, not seeing us. We waited, breath held, until footsteps faded. Then we moved again, staying high on the ridge. By late afternoon, we found a dirt road, tire tracks fresh. Hope flared. We followed it and rounded a bend to an old mine entrance, timbers collapsed, warning signs shot full of holes. Parked outside sat a battered pickup, engine cold. The keys hung from the dash. We climbed in. The tank was half full. I fired the engine. A figure burst from the tree line, the bearded man faster than anyone that size should move. He hurled the rebar spear. It punched through the windshield, clipped my shoulder, and pinned me to the seat. Glass showered Riley. He slammed the gas. The truck lurched forward, dragging the spear free. Pain roared through me. The man chased barefoot until the road widened and the truck gained speed. He vanished in the dust. We drove 10 miles before the radiator steamed out. The truck died at a junction where a Forest Service grader idled. A ranger named Dana McClure stepped down, hand on her sidearm. She saw our wounds, radioed for help, and loaded us into her cab.
Wow, guys, that is crazy. That was a crazy story. I had to cut it like just a little bit shorter because it went on just a little bit longer. But yeah, that was definitely some feral people they came across for sure. That is frightening. Okay, Wolfpack. So we're actually going to end with a true werewolf story. Now, this one is by Ashley Inc., and she's here on YouTube. I know she's on TikTok, but I found this one actually on YouTube, okay? Now, these are 2 true story times. Werewolves are real in London, Ohio, okay? And we're just going to listen to one, so you know what to do. You go down in my description box, click on these links, and watch the full videos of these on YouTube, okay? Subscribe, like their content, you know what to do. And while you're at it, go ahead and like mine too. Thanks, guys.
Cody said 30 years ago, his dad went out fishing in the middle of the night on a large man-made lake near London, Ohio. Cody said he was out in the middle of the lake fishing near a spillway, which is a structure that allows excess water to flow around a dam. I had to look that up. And then there was a road. He's out there for a little while when he looks up near the spillway and he sees a large wolf-like creature standing on two legs staring at him. I don't know how far away he was, but he said for sure it was a wolf or a dog creature, but it was 7 feet tall when it stood on its hind legs. And it stood for long enough where Cody's dad knew that it wasn't a regular dog. And the way that this upright wolf creature was staring at him like sunk his heart into his gut. He sat still for a few seconds, his heart was racing in his chest and he was watching it watch him. When he moved to get the boat closer, the wolf took off running on 4 legs. Apparently this sighting freaked him out enough where he packed it up and he went home. He didn't tell anyone for years because he didn't want to be perceived as someone who's seeing cryptids in the middle of the night. Until one night, his sister, so Cody's aunt, comes home. She was out riding around with their friends in the woods and she comes home and claims that she saw a wolf-like creature standing on 2 legs in the woods. She was also apparently near the lake when she saw it. So now it's common lore in Cody's family that both his father and his aunt have seen this same creature.
Wow, guys, I know that was a pretty short story, but still very spooky nonetheless. Like, I mean, could you imagine just sitting there and seeing a 7-foot tall dog man staring right back at you? Guys, that would definitely get me to get the hell out of there. And these stories definitely deserve a big old, oh hell no to that. Definitely oh hell no certified. Well, everyone, what did you think about today's creepy history? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen anything creepy, paranormal, or cryptid? Send your encounters to me. You can email me, or you can just put it in the comments. And as always, I'd like to give a shout out to all of the members of the channel. Guys, thank you so much for what you do. You really do help this channel more than you know. And guys, don't forget to check out the merch. There's always a sale going on for 20% off your entire purchase when you put in the discount code Wolfpack at the end. And Wolfpack, remember, keep your head up, keep your paws up, stay strong, keep going, and make sure you stay tuned to the very next episode. And until then, guys, bye!